Hi everybody, I'm Bryan Mudd, a fan of South Plains politics. Here's your talking points for this week. With all the talk about taxes, it's a good idea to see how your leaders are spending your money. Local stormwater and road projects are on tap.
I'm Anna Warnicki in Washington. The immigration crisis at the southern border is now impacting trade with Mexico. I'll have that story coming up.
From the studios of KMAC Television in Lubbock, your local election headquarters. This is Talking Points with Bryan Mudd, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Services.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Also this week, who's got Plan B? Last week, we showed you a little of that news conference with the governor, lieutenant governor, and House Speaker. They believe that raising the sales tax you pay could give the state enough money to help you pay less property tax. But does that add up? Lubbock Representative Dustin Burrows tweeted several pages of an analysis that showed Texans of all income brackets saving money on the deal. But the Center for Public Policy Priorities believes the analysis needs an additional $2.7 billion of state money in order to work. But regardless of the spend, you still got to have the votes. The Senate school finance bill didn't include a sales tax raise to pay for it because the votes weren't there. And if you believe social media, West Texans aren't too crazy about paying more sales tax anyway. So KMAC's Steffi Lee was there when the plug was pulled on the governor, lieutenant governor, and speaker's pet project.
Speaker, I move to postpone further consideration of HJR 3 until 12 noon on January 12, 2021.
Texas lawmakers could end this legislative session likely only slowing property tax growth. Top Republican leaders were exploring an idea they said would provide tangible results.
If we are able to pass a sales tax increase that will be dedicated to driving down property taxes, if you add that to all these other strategies that we are working on, we're going to be able to leave this Capitol and inform our fellow Texans that their property tax bills next year are going to be less than they were this year.
But that effort faced roadblocks in the Senate school finance debate and now the House.
There were members of the Senate that have demanding property tax relief for their entire legislative careers that did not vote for the only bill that actually provided tax relief this legislative session.
I think that one reason it was proposed as a constitutional amendment was the idea of trying to get some buy-in or cover perhaps from both Democratic members and then the public when it would go to a vote in November, but Democrats were not willing to help in that process.
Chairman Dan Huberty hopes this issue can be tackled 2 years from now. In Austin, Steffi Lee, KMAC News.
Steffi, so lawmakers are now trying to find that Plan B that gets property tax reform and school funding reform to the finish line. Representative Ken King's one of those getting to work on that, and he spoke at the Capitol with KMAC's Wes Rappaport.
Here now with State Representative Ken King. Thanks for your time.
Glad to do it.
Wanted to just get a sort of a legislative update. What are some of the priorities that the chamber is looking at here as we get into crunch time?
Well, I believe the priority is the same as it's always been. It's House Bill 3. It's education reform, and school finance has been the #1 topic of the session, and it's going to continue to be so.
You're a busy guy. You're just recently appointed to the conference committee for House Bill 3. Essentially, for the folks at home, that's going to be you're going to be part of the House negotiation with the Senate on that bill, right?
That's exactly right.
And can you kind of explain, what some of the goals of those negotiations are? I mean, what is that process like?
Well, what's going to happen, there's 5 members from the Senate and 5 members from the House that are appointed to this conference committee. When we sent House Bill 3 to the Senate, they in turn put, I believe, 100 amendments on the original bill. So, and some of those amendments may be good, may be bad. We're just starting the conference process. I'm not exactly sure what it looks like yet, but I think it's safe to say most of what the Senate did to our bill will come off, and that's the purpose of the conference committee. And once the negotiated bill is finished by the conference committee, we'll bring it back to our respective houses and introduce it to the full Senate and the full, or in our case, the full House. And that will be the final product. I'm really optimistic that we're going to end up with still with a very good bill at the end of this process.
A lot of moving pieces here, and everything, in terms of the education reform and the property taxes, another big issue. Everything is really intertwined, right? And can you talk to me a little bit about, how you make sure that every, all the boxes get checked and all of the, everybody is happy at the end of the day with the final product that's going to come out of the legislature?
Well, now one thing that everybody knows when it comes to school finance or dealing with public education at all, everybody is never going to be happy. You know, the goal here is to create an equal educational opportunity for every kid in Texas, and at the same time protect equity within our school system. And I think House Bill 3 in its original version did all of those things. You know, we gave $2.7 billion in tax relief, a 4-cent compression for every school district, but we backfilled the money. So no district lost money under the House plan. I think that was an admirable goal. That's the goal I think we still ought to do. I do know on that front, the Senate, I believe, went to 10 cents of compression, but we still have the $9 billion that we originally had in the budget. So, you know, those are the things that are going to have to get negotiated. But ultimately, House Bill 3 is great for kids, great for teachers, it's great for schools, and it's also great for the property owner.
How do you strike a balance between primarily rural districts like yours and primarily urban districts like so many of the other members? I mean, how do you make sure that the needs of the urban versus rural communities are met?
That's tricky. A lot of education policies tends to be one size fits all, and a lot of times urban districts tend to dictate to small districts like mine. That's one of the main reasons I've stayed on the Public Education Committee since 2013 and have continued to try to be a voice for rural Texas because, as you pointed out, they're two different animals here. We have I have very small, slow-growing districts or no-growing districts, and the chairman of the Public Ed Committee, he lives in a world of fast growth, urban, and it takes a lot of negotiation and a lot of hard decisions to strike that balance, but that's what we accomplished in House Bill 3. And now listen, House Bill 3 did not happen just in this legislative cycle. I spent the last year serving on the Texas Commission on School Finance, and that's where the 35 recommendations that went into House Bill 3 came from. Chairman Huberty, myself, as well as Diego Bernal all served on that committee, and when it came time to legislate, we took the prior year study and put it into a bill. I think it did strike that balance.
So you talk about this extension of issues that carry over session after session. I know we're not done with this session yet, but what are some of the things that maybe hit the shelf this session that you're going to kind of jockey to focus on next session?
I haven't had anything hit the shelf yet. So I would answer that question after Sine Die, because as long as we still have some life in this legislative session, nobody that I know is giving up.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you
very much.
Appreciate
Thanks a lot.
All right, time for this week's poll question. Do you support Senate Bill 1663, which would shield the removal of historical markers, including Confederate memorials? Talk to us on our KMAC News Facebook page and on everythinglubbock.com. Click Talking Points. Give us your opinion. All right, coming up, Lubbock loses one of its great public servants, and you voted to issue millions of dollars in bonds to fix Lubbock County roads. So we'll ask County Judge Curtis Parrish what's next.